Today we will be covering Lentor Central Residences. This is the 6th plot of project over at Lentor. And what do you think? Here got oversupply or not?
I believe a lot of people will think that's oversupply because like you mentioned, there's 6 projects already up and we still have plots of lands that have yet to be released.
I think 4 more plots coming out, right?
4
more plots coming up, yeah.
So definitely a lot of talks on the ground, especially for the general public. They will be saying it's oversupply in that area.
So of course, we as real estate agents, we also help out with a lot of our clients to analyze different clusters around Singapore. So what we do is that actually we pull out some comparisons. For example, we'll put on some of the infographics over here. For example, Pasir Ris cluster, there's also a project that's being launched almost back to back. So the Pasir Ris cluster, you have 5,000 units. Then you have the Tampines cluster as well. That site also about 3,000 plus. Not forgetting Beauty World, there's also a period of time that's really a back-to-back launch, almost non-stop in the sense. So far, all these projects are still doing well in the sense that they are still fully occupied. People are still able to make a decent profit when they are selling it in the sub-sale market. So for Lentor Residences, or for Lentor this area, right, 4 more plots. So let's say one plot, 500 units. Now we have like 2,900 touching 3,000 plus 4 times 500, you will get 5,000 units over there. What do you think? It's possible for people to sell or rent out if let's say they're buying for investment?
I think it's still possible, but you got to have to look at like a long-term horizon. You cannot be thinking like 3 years, 4 years. I think that might be a little challenging, but if you're looking at long-term for own stays, even if it's investment, but again, you got to think long. You cannot think like 3 years, 4 years. You want to make a lot of profit.
I feel so also because now, for example, some of us, we are bringing our resale clients to look at some of these projects, right? We go to say that particular project, they say, hey, other than this one, I also want to see the one next to it. So same thing next time when buyers or potential buyers are going to buy your house over at Lentor, right? They are going to compare. They can say that, hey, I want to see Lentor Residences, Lentor Central Residences. I also want to see Hillock Green. I also want to see, what's the one? Lentor Hill. I still also want to see Lentor Modern. So no choice lah. People will come here and compare and see different types of layout until they make sure that they are making their best decision. For this particular plot, I would say that it is maybe the second last plot of land that is somewhat near or walking distance to the Lentor MRT itself. Further down, the 3 plot down south, right, is a bit further away already. Of course, there are pros and cons. So this one, the not so good thing is that it's not within the 1 km of CHIJ Scenic. Yeah. So I think for some parents, they want to aim the CHIJ Scenic, right? Then that would be something that you have to take note about. But otherwise, in terms of connectivity, I think this is the plot that is still just diagonally across. You reach Lentor Modern, that shopping mall already. So it's easy, I feel, right? So if let's say you are a HDB upgrader or someone who has a certain budget in mind, Lentor Central Residences could be your last possible project, decent project to enter at an affordable price tag. Why I say so? Because if you look at the whole of 2025, upcoming even 2026, I think there are not many affordable choices left for the whole of 2025. So if you are watching this video, maybe when we launch it, it's already after Alta and Parktown. You have to think seriously, carefully whether or not you want to go for this Lentor Central, because afterwards, the entire 2025 mainly is going to be the core central CCR projects that's coming up in the list. So aside for one more plot, which is over at Canberra, but that will be likely a low-rise project. So it's a different product category altogether.
Right, so we're going to cover a little bit on the project details itself. For Lentor Central, there are 2 blocks, and there's a little bit of a sloping, so level-wise, it might be a little different. There's one with 28 story and one with 27 stories. And there's also one childcare center there. And yeah, they have basement car park, swimming pool and Sky Terrace. Sky Terrace is something that is quite common around the Lentor projects. If you realize, in my opinion, most of the Lentor projects, the design is somewhat similar.
So likewise, for people who are familiar with Lentor, Gogoland, Hong Leong, they are the main big players over here. In fact, other than Hillock Green, the rest are actually bought by them. So in a sense, pros and cons, because they would definitely don't want themselves to compete with one another. They don't want the projects to compete with one another. In fact, they will try to design it slightly different from one another so that there's some product differentiation. And of course, they also want to make sure that there isn't any price war. What I mean by that is that, for example, they know that if they price a particular project underpriced, that will affect the sales of their other existing project. But for now, what we know is that most of the previous launch projects, they are at least 90%. So moving forward, if let's say you are still looking at Lentor Central Residences, this is a very good opportunity for you to buy back at a very sweet price point if let's say you are someone who are looking for a affordable space to stay.
Right, so touching on the point of supply, if you think this might be an oversupply and there's nothing left going to build up in the Lentor area, what we mentioned, in just Lentor itself, there will be a lot more plots coming up. And that's not all. If you're looking at the whole URA master plan, there's actually a lot of residential sites still untouched. And these are future housing that will be built on these lands. And as we all know, throughout the time, prices will always be going up. There's no new launch in the future that will be lower priced than what we are getting today. So if you're looking to get into this area at an affordable price range, now would be a good time to really have a look at your situation and any of these projects to really look at which one is more suitable for you, so we can analyze it for you, see what's your timeline like, and then decide which one you should go for.
As mentioned, there's some of us that we have already met up with you guys. Sometimes really because of the timeline, you're not in time to do something because you need to sell off your existing property, or you need to do decoupling, or you need to prepare funds for your loans. And so there's a lot of little details that we always like to share with you guys, is that the earlier that you reach out with us, the earlier that we can plan forward for you guys as well. And adding on to what Taufik has mentioned, right? So if you missed out Lentor, the next bigger area will be towards the Springleaf as well as Tagore area. So we do know that the government has already some plans to build up a bigger even township, even bigger township over at Springleaf and Tagore area. So the MRT is actually been built already. So just to highlight to people who are not aware of. So Lentor is a private enclave, and try not to miss it, because in the future, we know when new townships are coming up, it will be pushing up the surrounding prices of the better town, or the better premium town being perceived in that sense. So whenever there's a newer township that being built up, there will also be some impact to the surrounding township as well. So if you are looking into Lentor, don't miss it, because I think this is the second last plot that is really very convenient to the MRT station.
Alright, so aside from whatever is happening in Tagore and in the Lentor area, we are also looking at all the infrastructure that is being built up around the surrounding area, which will definitely benefit this area. Right, one of it will be the North Coast Innovation Corridor, and this will be the rejuvenation of the Woodlands area, and that will bring about a lot of businesses there and also a lot of jobs. Okay, so number 2 will be the North-South Corridor, and that will cut a lot of traveling time from Woodlands to CBD area. Right, so that will also ease up a lot of traffic. Number 3 will be the RTS, and that will really benefit people at the Lentor area because it's only 4 stops away from Woodlands North to Lentor MRT. So for your weekend trips, you want to go to JB, it's really very convenient.
So fun fact and some interesting, people have been wondering who are the people who are actually buying into Lentor. So of course, our company has also provided some information and data for us as well. In further look, we understand that the bulk of the buyers actually come from District 19 and District 20. So District 19 will be your places like Punggol, Sengkang, Hougang, Kovan, and District 20 will be your places like Thomson, Bishan, these areas.
Alright, so now we're going to touch on the floor plan. So first up will be the 1-bedroom coming in at 463 square feet. So looking at the floor plan, it's what you would expect of a 1-bedroom, honestly. Alright. So
pretty standard, I would say.
Pretty standard. Yeah. Entrance to the kitchen, and then forward will be the dining to living, and then the balcony. You got your master bedroom with your Jack and Jill concept master bathroom.
Yeah, okay. Maybe one point to note, is you've seen some of the one-bedder, right? Their living and master room, right? The wall is non-structural. But because this is harmonized and GRS, how their building style and all that. So if I want to be really picky, then the wall between the master room and the living room, you can't really hack it down. That is the only thing that I probably have to highlight. But otherwise, harmonized just means that everything is more compact and more efficient. So you literally pay for what you can live in that sense.
Alright, and now is the 2-bedroom, 678 square feet. So you can see this is a dumbbell layout. more or less a lot of development nowadays are all going to dumbbell layout. So then kitchen wise, you can still enclose this up, although there's no ventilation. So of course you will have your hood for your stove.
Right.
Right.
Electrical induction, you're saying?
If I were to nitpick on anything, I would say it's just the walkway into the house. There's just like a little bit of a walkway there. I feel like there's not much you can do there.
But what I like about this layout is that it's like one straight space for entirely, I mean, for your dining and living, it's just one straight space. So I can imagine when you step in, it's going to be very impressive in that sense. The characteristic is like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's already pretty much very efficient for dumbbell layout already. You don't really have much space wastage. Everything is functional. Right, so the next 2-bedroom layout will be the 689 square feet. So this is more of the conventional 2-bedroom units.
Yeah.
Right, so the bedrooms are pushed to one side and you have the corridor, you have your living room on the other side. Right, and then of course the one thing that some people might not feel it's too efficient because of the walkway between the bedroom and the common bathroom. Right, so next up will be the 2-bedroom plus study. Now, if you look at this floor plan, the study area, I feel like it's quite a good size. So that might be something that you can use as a flexible space as well. Aside from study, maybe you might want to enclose it and make it into a storage area. Something is possible.
I think some 797 square feet. Some people may even call this like a compact 3-bedroom already. We have not seen the actual sales show flat yet. So I think if let's say there is a 2+ study, right, it is possible to create this into like a mini room, right? You can put in a super single, right? Those kind of foldable one. Then it also comes with the attached bathroom. So it becomes really like a compact 3. So you can serve like a flexible guest room in case your parents or grandparents coming to the place to stay, then you can use this as an extra bed space as well.
Right, now we are looking at the 3-bedroom coming at 915 square feet. Right, so conventional layout, all the bedrooms stuck to one side, and then on the other side is the living room, a little bit of a walkway through from the entrance of the house. Kitchen is enclosable and it's ventilated, it's naturally ventilated, so that's a plus point here.
This 915 square feet, right, will be very ideal for HDB upgraders or people who are transiting into a starter home because it has a very proper 3 bedrooms, right? The master bedroom is also huge enough, and good thing is that both bathroom has open ventilation, kitchen also have open ventilation. So for those people who like open fire, who are not used to electric induction, this will be very good for them. Of course, one thing I find it funny, even though it's harmonized, they still give a lot of free AC latch for you.
Okay, size is big.
Yeah.
Alright, so next up will be the 3-bedroom premium at 1076 square feet. Right, this one will be a slightly bigger unit already, and you can see that the master bedroom has a pretty good size there. You can even put in like a dresser. Massage chair also.
You can put the massage chair, a baby cot, I think also no problem.
Yes.
So same thing, they got this very huge AC latch, right? But of course it's non-strata. So they are providing it for 3 compressor, I think.
Yeah, aside from that, even the WC in the kitchen has ventilation.
This is something very interesting because they provide not just the home shelter, there's also like a storage space being allocated in the kitchen itself. So this is really very good for people who have a lot of stuff that they want to store. And then nowadays, for projects getting smaller and smaller, they're complaining that there's not a proper storage space, right? So I think this is really what developers are trying to provide for, to have more practical layouts that has storages for people who need to put more of their old items. Okay, so next up will be the 4-bedroom 1184 square feet. Same thing, you have a very nice, big, spacious master bedroom with the walk-in closet, right? And household shelter, and also plus a store on the side. So this is a very functional and practical for people who are comparing between the 3-bed premium as well as the 4-bed 1184. So people who are looking at, if you have the budget for the 3-bedroom premium at 1076 square feet, right? Maybe you top up a little bit more, you can also go for this 1184 square feet as an option as well. Because I think in the overall quantum, there is not going to be a huge difference as well. Overall, very practical in terms of the layout, squarish as well. So perfect for family living.
The next layout will be the 4-bedroom premium. Now this comes at 1399 square feet. So this is really big. You can see from the floor plan itself, there's enough bathroom for everyone. So this one will be a plus point in my opinion.
Right.
All right. And if you look at the kitchen area, they have a store. So you don't just get a household shelter, you also get a store area. So you can decide which one you want to use for maybe helpers accommodation, and then the other one will be storing of all your items.
So actually, in fact, there's three store, so-called three store: home shelter, there's like a storeroom, then plus a store space. So perfect for anyone that has really a lot of items to store. And of course, not forgetting, this also has a very nice landscape living room, which is at 5.35 meters. So it's going to be very impressive. The balcony will be facing towards the south, which is where the park is, right? So you'll be facing a lot of green, going to be very nice. So obviously, developer usually place the best layout towards the best facing, right? And not forgetting that the two common room, right, they share a bathroom in the middle, so it's quite nice. If let's say you have like two kids or two teenager kids, they can use this bathroom in the middle of their both bedrooms. Then you also have a bedroom 4, which sad to say, then it's the different side facing, so the view of bedroom 4 will not be that nice, but it does still have attached bath on the side. It can function as a junior master. So this particular layout, right, you can probably envision like a multi-gen kind of family living. Maybe the grandparents, Akong Ama, maybe stay at the bedroom 4, which has a junior master attached bath on the side. Then maybe 2 of the kids will stay at bedroom 2 and bedroom 3. The parents themselves will be staying at the huge master room that obviously comes with that walk-in wardrobe. Then if you need the helper, right, you can put it in the storeroom or the home shelter. So this would be very ideal and perfect for this kind of a family setup.
And one more thing that you can note is if you look at the master bedroom, the window is L-shaped, so you don't just get one view, you actually get a slightly more panoramic view.
Okay, so after talking so much, so what is the price point for Lentor Central Residences? As of now, we have not have a official indicative price from the developer yet, but of course, people are going to talk about, developer secure this piece of land at a very attractive land price. Again, as we mentioned multiple times in our past videos, no matter how much the developer secure the land cost at, they will always launch it at market price point, which I think, let's say you're looking at some of the previous past performance of the projects, late 2024 until the recent ones, Alta and Parktown, you will know that developer will price it very competitively because they do know that there's going to be supply coming up in Lentor as well. At the same time, being Coco Land, they are the biggest player in this area. They also do not want to underprice it so much that it will affect their future projects selling as well. So I think it could be as low as a range of 2,100 per square feet to possibly as high as 2,500, 2,600 per square feet for the higher floors, better facing units. So again, this is just our estimation. It's not the official price guide from developer. So do stay tuned, and if you want to keep in touch, always feel free to drop us a message. Put your details in the link or WhatsApp us, just reach out to us so that we can keep you updated and informed.
Alright, so looking at all these pointers about the project, Lentor Central, Lentor area, everything, who do you think should buy into this project?
I think for Lentor Central or any projects in Lentor itself, right, because the launches are almost back to back. So for buyers who are looking at Lentor Central Residences, you are coming in, you want to sell at the 3 years mark or 4 years mark to make a quick profit, probably you need to hold it slightly longer because this area really needs some time for demand to be absorbed. So we know that there's already previously 5 project launches happening. So all this already soak up some part of the demand. So if let's say you're talking about the one bedder, there's not much one bedders over here. I think the entry is still somewhat okay. You are buying for investment to rent it out because one bedder supply in this area is not that high. If you're looking at the 3 bedder and 4 bedder for yourself as own stay purpose, perhaps you may want to stay for like 8 years, 10 years and beyond. You let the overall demand slowly take up, then people will start to compare and see how Lentor Central Residences has a differentiation with other projects, which I think the overall design is still pretty simple, minimalistic and quite nice in terms of the overall feel. Of course, the south facing one facing towards the park will be a premium facing. Towards the north, because there's still an empty plot of land, likely you'll be facing towards that building over there as well. Internal facing will be the swimming pool, so that will be also quite ideal for those people who want to make sure that they have a very good view from their house as well. So ultimately, overall, it still depends on the facing, the stack, high floor, low floor, and ultimately depending on the entry price that you're entering. But Lentor Central Residences gives us an opportunity to look at Lentor project at a very attractive price point again, because as we have mentioned, the past projects, some of them has already been 70%, 80%. So this is something like a fresh chance, fresh opportunity for you to relook at Lentor project if you want to envision yourself, family to be staying over here, right? And as always, our links is always at the description. And if you do like what you are seeing in this video, give us a thumbs up and
subscribe for more videos coming up. See you in the next one.
thank you.